Hello there. Tonight I'm going to talk. Yeah, sorry about the lighting, but it's evening, so yeah. So I don't keep my big lights on at night, so it's I just have a couple little lights. But anyway, I wanted to talk about just the fact that I'm still in therapy after even 7, 8 years in recovery. And I mean, I had gone to counseling prior to quitting drinking, but it really made a lot more sense after I quit drinking to go to therapy because when you're getting therapy or counseling when you're still in your addiction, it doesn't really register as much as it does when you're sober and clean. So it just makes more sense to be finished with your addiction and then start your counseling. And some of the things that we address are family, um, relationships, with not just family, but friends, ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, whatever, that kind of thing. I mean, I've only got one ex-husband, but I do have more than one ex-boyfriend, and I guess that's why I'm leading into this. With ex-boyfriends as well, I dealt with a lot of trauma and sexual abuse, similar to what had happened to me in the past. So I really needed to get help around that too. Otherwise, what's the sense of, getting like you can't just get your treatment without getting your counseling as well because they kind of go hand in hand. So when you go through counseling or therapy, EMDR therapy, specifically, it's eye movement desensitization reprocessing is what it stands for, EMDR. And we're just getting through to the next phase of the counseling and starting those sessions. And what it does is it brings up the traumatic memory, and you deal with those memories with um, just rapid eye movement, and I guess that just kind of rewires your brain so that when you do have like a flashback, which I have them on a regular basis, you can kind of work through the memory so that it's not going to devastate you as bad. It's going to take some of the sting off the memory, and it's going to take some of the trauma off of it, and it's going to allow you to deal with it finally, you know, which I'm looking forward to that aspect of it because I'd really like to learn how to deal with this and put it behind me for once and for all, because it's hard to continue going through my recovery without getting further help. Recovery doesn't just end at treatment. You go for counseling sessions after that. That's the natural progression of recovery. So I know that's been my understanding of it anyway. And sometimes it comes up with ex-boyfriends that were abusive in the past. Um, an ex-husband that was abusive, and growing up in a dysfunctional family, we have to address a lot of that as well because there's past trauma to deal with. And when I was trying to discuss it with a couple family members this year, I ended up getting the silent treatment, and all it did was tell the truth. That's honest to God. That's all I did. I straightened something out because there was sort of there was something that a family member wasn't getting right, and I just corrected her on it. I just kind of pointed out to her, during this period of time, here's what happened. I was there. You were already, you had already left home, type of thing. And um, I just, I mean, I was there. So I basically just said, here, I was there. This is what happened. And, you know, I had no reason to lie about that. What would I gain by lying to this person? The subject came up. I addressed it. And then instead of having a conversation with each other, um, it was just cut right off. No more questions, no statements, no nothing. And I thought, well, that's what I get for telling the truth. You know, I have no reason to lie. And I think when you start getting better and people are used to you being your old self, and then you start changing and you start speaking up for yourself, I think some some people can get very up in the air about that. They can get very angry that you're actually asserting yourself and you're setting things straight. Now, if this other person wasn't there, did they automatically think that I was lying about that? Like, why? What would I have to gain by lying? Like I said, I've got nothing to gain by lying because they could go find out and then turn around and say, "Well, you lied about this." This way, there's no denying what I said to be true. I mean, unless the other family members that were involved say, "Oh, no, that never happened. She's crazy." And I think that that could be a lot of what happens with certain people. They start pointing fingers at you and saying that you're crazy. You're the crazy one. You're the one that's telling all kinds of lies and making shit up, and um, because they don't want to, or they're not ready to, or they're in denial about what happened, and they would really prefer that you just shut up and not say anything at all. Well, I'm going to obviously I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to tell the truth because I was there for this particular topic. I was there. This person wasn't there. So they can't turn around and tell everybody that I'm lying if they weren't even there to see it. And then to stop talking to me on top of it just confirms what we were talking about, which was part of it was about the silent treatment. And then when I tell the truth, I ended up getting the silent treatment. And I'm still getting the silent treatment. Every time I have told the truth in my family, that's what I get, the silent treatment. So I'm the crazy one for telling the truth. All right. Well, then I guess I'll be the crazy one. I know the truth. There's no need for me to lie, and I have nothing to gain by lying. Why would I lie when part of my recovery is being honest? Because when I was in my addiction, I was dishonest. I was lying about how much I was drinking. I was lying about, you know, covering things up, and I often had an excuse, or I would make something up off the top of my head because it was I couldn't tell them the truth. But now I'm better, and I've been better for 7 years, and I just get stronger and stronger, and I'm able to tell the truth, and I mean, does it bother me that I'm getting the silent treatment? I guess, yeah, a little bit, but it's not going to change anything. Not for me. If these people want to go around spreading rumors and lies about me being a liar or being crazy, then that's that's their uh, that's their prerogative. I can't stop that. And if other people choose to believe them over me, I can't stop that either. I have no control over that. The only one I have control over is me. And I know who I am and I know what happened. And that's all that matters. So don't ever be afraid to tell the truth. As they say, the truth will set you free. And it's the only way when you're coming out of addiction or at any point in your life. It's the best medicine is to be honest. I wasn't brutal. I wasn't over the top. I wasn't being profane or anything like that. I just told it like it was, and I guess now they think that I'm being punished for it because they're not talking to me. It's it's not my pain talking. It's their pain. And I hope that one day they'll be able to face the truth and tell the truth and tell themselves the truth. They'll feel so much better if they do. Or, there's just some people will just keep on living the lie forever and they'll take it to their grave. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to tell the truth and clear your conscience and clear your mind of feelings that you're holding in that are only making you sick inside and that will make you sick in your mind if you don't tell the truth. So I choose to tell the truth, get it out, and then it's done. And then I can keep on living with a clear conscience. I have nothing to feel bad about, and I'm not going to allow anyone to try to punish me or make me feel bad for telling the truth. No, not anymore. I put up with that for far too long, and I'll never do it again. Thanks for listening.